everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kian, and if you haven't been here before, I make videos all related to my faith. As a Christian woman, I also make videos on lifestyle, fashion, and a little bit of everything in between. I also have a series on my channel right now called The Single Diaries, where I basically show you how I'm navigating a season of singleness and all the advice, ups and downs of it all. So if that is something you're interested, please go check out my channel for that. But today's video is going to be about mental health issues, and as you can see from the title, about therapy as well. So I've never done therapy before until recently. I just started a couple weeks ago, and I wanted just to talk about my experience and also mental struggles that I've gone through, as well as my friends have gone through, and why I think therapy is a great option. So let's get into the video. Before we start, make sure you hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you want more content like this. I would love to have you around on my channel. I feel like my voice gets all girly when I talk on camera. So I started therapy, as you can see from the title. I was actually reached out to by a company called Faithful Counseling, and I had never really considered therapy before, but when I saw they messaged me and I read more about their company and their philosophy, I was really amazed. It is a Christian-based counseling service. So I definitely wanted to give it a try to see how I liked it before I would recommend it to you guys. So I've been doing therapy for a few weeks now, and really I didn't think I needed therapy, but after starting it, I'm like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. And I would say when I started, I was in a pretty good mental space, but I feel like therapy is healthy no matter what mental space you're in. I mean, this has helped me in probably one of my best mental states. Therapy has helped me even through this season of life, so I can't even imagine how much it could have improved my life during my low mental states. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about my mental struggles. I have been very fortunate and haven't struggled with anything insane or really heavy, deep seasons. I've had my ups and downs, but and I've gone through things, but I'm not going to sit here and say I've ever been suicidal or in extreme state of depression. I know people who have. I did lose a friend to suicide a few years ago, and I can't even imagine what a service like this would have provided him, because clearly he didn't have that. I can't. It's hard to think about him because I get emotional. But clearly he didn't have that safe space in his friend group or in his family to open up about his struggles. So if anything, if this video can save one person's life or just prevent someone from getting into a dark hole that deep, then I'm so happy to be making it. Okay, did not expect to be crying. Cool, okay. I don't know, I guess I just realized how important these videos are and how big of a difference they can make. Okay, I'm gonna button things up. So like I said, I have not struggled with depression that bad, but I hope this video will help you seek the help, whether that's in the counseling service, the therapy, or through friends or online if you want to send me a message, whatever it is. I hope this video can help in some way. So as I said, I have not really struggled with deep depression, but I have had mental struggles. My first being in high school. I mean, there's so many things I could dive into, but I'm going to give a brief overview. High school was pretty good for me. Things I struggled with in high school were binge eating. I also struggled I was on a birth control that really impacted my mood, and it really like sucked the color out of life at one point. I just remember laying in bed one day and almost viewing myself, like I was like on the ceiling and like looking at myself laying in bed, and I just remember seeing myself just so sad and lifeless. I found out later that it was the birth control that was causing it, but I mean, I had no clue how to get out of it, and I didn't really talk to anybody about it. Luckily, I found things that helped me, and I switched to birth control, which really helped balance my hormones again. So that was probably my first struggle with mental health. But reflecting back now with my therapist, there have been definitely things that happened in high school that shaped me and have caused plenty of struggles. One definitely being binge eating. Binge eating is something I really struggle with. I don't have the healthiest relationship with food. Recently it has been better, but I also recently had another episode of binge eating. So that is something I talked to my therapist a lot about during our first session. Other things I've struggled with is, I don't know if you've seen the video, I did have a man break into my apartment about 3 years ago now. I woke up and he was at the end of my bed, and that was something that I would relay this story to people, and in my mind I think I really buried a lot of emotions, and because I would tell this story to people and they would be like, I have chills, why are you so calm? And I was like, I don't know. And that's something that caused a lot of sleep anxiety. I couldn't sleep alone for months. I would wake up terrified that someone was in my apartment, and that's something I kind of like brushed under the rug and never really opened up, or I would tell people about it, but I never really explored my feelings in what happened. And so I don't know, I never really even processed the event. And recently I've been waking up in the middle of the night, even though I've moved apartments and I feel a lot safer now. Recently I started waking up and thinking people were in my house again. So that is also something I talked to my therapist about. I don't know, I'm kind of just giving you an overview of things I've talked to my therapist about. I don't know if you find this interesting at all. I could do a series if you are interested in like my therapy recaps and kind of things that I've gotten out of therapy and how it has positively impacted my life. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. But yeah, so that's something that has mentally impacted me that I didn't really realize until recently. So yeah, the binge eating, the break-in. I think I also really struggle with just having faith in myself to complete things. I'm really bad about holding myself accountable. Anytime there's like pressure on me to perform, I just collapse. And this all started from when I was in high school. I was in an all-star cheerleading program, and on my high school team I was one of the best, and then I moved to this all-star program and there was a lot of pressure on me, and I couldn't perform. I couldn't stick any stunt. I just didn't want to be there. I would cry during practices. I would not want to even show up to practices, and I ended up getting put into an alternate spot, so not even being able to really perform, which was interestingly a relief because the pressure was then taken off. But that impacted so many areas of my life in the future that I didn't realize, because now, sorry, the light's changing, there's a cloud. Do I wait for the cloud? So that impacted me, and now anytime there's pressure on me to set goals, oh, I think there's another cloud. Okay, turn the brightness up. Hopefully there's not much of a difference when the clouds come in. So basically, I realized that has really shattered my self-confidence in the area of performance and holding myself accountable and achieving goals. When I don't think about something like my health or fitness, it's really easy, but as soon as I put my focus on something, everything crumbles. And that's something, I have so many friends who are entrepreneurs, and they set these goals and disciplines, and they are amazing at it, and I have such a hard time comparing myself. And also, just anytime I try to do something like that, I just crumble. And I know it all leads back to the event in cheerleading, and we don't really think about how these events when we're younger really shape who we are. Like, how would I have known that an event that happened to me when I was 17 would impact all my goals for the future? It's really insane. So that is something I'm working on healing through this therapy. And that's something that I'm working on. I also find that it's just really nice to have someone who listens to me. I think I've become a really good listener with my friends, and I'm happy to listen to my friends for an hour talk about their lives, and I'm always inquiring about their lives. But a lot of times if someone's going through something, they don't really have space to inquire back, which I'm understanding of. But it was really nice just to have somebody for an hour straight just ask about me, because that doesn't really happen very often. So yeah, basically those are the things I'm focusing on in my therapy right now. I do want to talk a little bit about how this counseling works, because it is a Christian-based counseling, which I had no idea even existed until Faithful Counseling reached out to me. So Faithful Counseling is a Christian-based counseling service. When you go and sign up, they ask you a bunch of questions about your prayer life and what denomination you are and how your relationship with God is, which I think is the coolest thing ever. And then after you answer all these questions, they pair you with a counselor. It's super cool. I don't know. It's it's such a cool service. So they pair you with a counselor who is certified and also has a background in religion. It's really cool. You can put a preference if you would like your counselor to pray with you before the sessions, if you want them to incorporate scripture. And I just think it's just an amazing service, and I have loved every minute that I've used it. I've definitely cried during my therapy sessions. I've discovered things about why I communicate with my mom the way I do, just so much. So if this is something you want, an ongoing where I kind of unpack my therapy sessions with y'all, I would be happy to do that. But yes, Faithful Counseling is, okay, the lighting's changing again, I'm sorry. It's an awesome service, and another amazing thing is that it's super affordable compared to other therapy services. Faithful Counseling runs about $40 to $70 a week, whereas typical counseling sessions would cost about $150 each session. And since Faithful Counseling charges weekly, what that means is you have access to your therapist at all times, which means I can message back and forth with my therapist during the week if something comes up, or if I need an exercise to help. So she will send me breathing exercises to help with my sleep anxiety for me to practice during the week. She can send me worksheets, questionnaires through the chat. And then as far as our sessions, you can book those. I believe there are 50-minute or an hour sessions, but everything's totally customizable to your preferences. I prefer a video session, so that's what I do, but you can also do a phone, or if you're just more comfortable just messaging back and forth, you can also do that. Another amazing thing is that if you're not connecting with your counselor, they are happy to move you to another one. So I think that is great. And I just love that it is a Christian-based service. My counselor asks me if I've read scripture about what I'm struggling with. She asks me how my prayer life is, and it's really cool to have someone be able to relate to me on such a different level than a regular therapist could. It is super affordable, and they do offer financial aid if you want to apply for it, because if that's something you're struggling with, they still want to be able to help you. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an update of what I've been struggling with lately mentally, and just talk about how I've started therapy and my thoughts, my first impressions on it so far. If you want to sign up, I will put a link below, and you can just go and start answering the questionnaire just to get a feel for it. And I just encourage you, even if you don't want to sign up for the therapy, to seek just help somewhere. And I would definitely just seek guidance from somebody at church, of a close friend that you trust, family that you trust, just to get the ball rolling and for you to practice opening up about your mental struggles. A lot of us like to keep them hidden. I am not one of them. I will tell everybody about my mental struggles, just because I know that the devil likes to pry on our secrets. The more isolated we are, the more powerful he can get. So I really believe in sharing with a strong godly community or person, just so the devil can't have that much of a stronghold or an advantage at all, because isolation does give him an advantage. So yeah, those are my thoughts on therapy so far. Again, let me know if you want like a monthly therapy update. I'd be happy to share. Maybe you guys have gotten something out of this. Maybe some questions I want you to reflect on, or if there's something you're struggling right now in life, I want you to think about the first time a similar situation has ever happened in your lifetime. Because sometimes if you can figure out what event triggered this personality trait in you, it's easier to dissolve and kind of get to the bottom of it and understand yourself better. So that is your reflection question of the video. Alright guys, so that is all for this video. I will link everything for Faithful Counseling in the description. I would love to know if you guys sign up, or what your thoughts are, or if you've ever been to therapy before. I am a big therapy girl now. Love therapy, highly recommend. Also, all my links to my Instagram will be in the description as well. I would love if you follow me on there. I am a bit more active on Instagram, and I'm happy to answer any of your messages. If you're struggling with someone, or something, feel free to send me a message. I do my best to reply on Instagram. So I hope you all have a beautiful week. I love you so much. God bless you, and I'll see you in my next video.